All right, guys, we're here with our WWE Payback review from last night. If you guys are coming in, smash that like button. There was only 6 matches, so we're gonna go over the 6 matches. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the CM Punk situation and just kind of go from there. Really early stream. I don't think I ever did a stream this early, but hey, what are we gonna do? What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. What's up?
All right, I guess we can just start right into the first match, which was the Trish Stratus match from last night. Here's my thoughts on the overall match of this match. I actually think it's a pretty good match overall. My problem with this match was the interference. It keeps going on and on and on. But yeah, what's your thoughts about the overall match of this match?
I thought it was a pretty decent match. Same thing with you. The problem I have is, they ban someone from ringside, and somehow, some way, they find a way to come interfere in the match. You know, I like this part where they were on top of the cage and Trish got caught on top of the cage. I was actually kind of worried at that part. I was like, I hope to God she doesn't slip. You know,
When her legs were inside that bar, I was like, when she had both legs inside the bar and she was hanging off, I was like, oh man, if she moves the wrong way, she's gonna tear something bad, like really bad. Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
yeah, it's like the match quality overall. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty decent match for a women's cage match. It's just the interference, man. It's like that didn't need to take place. Like that's the reason for a cage match. Like so, no interference can come in. And we all picked Becky to win. I knew it was going to come, even when the girl Zoe Stark interfered. You know, it was a predictable match. I knew Becky was going to win one way or another. They weren't going to have Becky lose twice to Trish Stratus.
So the thing I want to hit on before we go any further was this whole pay-per-view was predictable. I put up my results or my predictions before the show, and I went 5-1 with my predictions. 5-1. That means I got 5 matches out of 6 matches right. I did throw in a little like, well, maybe Damian Priest is going to cash in Money in the Bank because we know that Seth Rollins is really hurt, that he's going to take some time off. So I thought like maybe um Nakamura is not going to win, but then at the last second, he's going to hit him with a chair after the match, which is going to hurt his back even more. And then Damian Priest was going to cash in. I thought that was the logical step. They didn't do that, but you mentioned you knew Trish was going to lose. You knew Becky was going to win. And I just want to point that out, that the whole show was very predictable. Like I was riding high. I was like, yeah, I'm 3-0. And then the tag match happened, which we'll get to later. That's the only match that went a completely different way than I predicted it was going to go. And four out of the 6 matches all had outside interference. Like all
Yeah,
had outside interference. It's like what kills me about WWE programming is they are safe. They play things safe, which by safe I mean it's like you always know what they're going to do all the time. You know what they're going to do. Like Jey Uso shows up toward the end of this. It was like, what? He took 3 weeks off. I thought you quit Bloodline. I thought you quit SmackDown. I thought you quit WWE. Right? You had him sit out one pay-per-view, which he quit like 2 weeks before the last pay-per-view. So you literally had this guy just sit out for like 3 weeks and that's it. You could have played that storyline all the way up into the Royal Rumble, and he was like a surprise entrance into the Royal Rumble, right? Yeah, I know he would have to sit out for what we're talking all the way up to like December. I believe Royal Rumble is December or January. You would have to sit him out a few months, but that's fine. Have him go do some other things, work out, like play with the storyline. Play with the storyline.
yeah.
Let him sit out with the storyline. And then can you imagine the pop if he showed up at Royal Rumble? That would be a massive pop. But instead, he was gone for 3 weeks. And then like Cody Rhodes of all people, hey, Jey Uso, like why? Like you just got done battling every one of those motherfuckers in the bloodline to try to win the title at WrestleMania. And now you're going to go, oh yeah, hey guys, let me introduce you to let me introduce you to the new guy in Raw, and it's the guy you just fought his entire family, and you're
Yeah.
introducing this guy. It didn't make any sense. If they wanted to bring him in earlier, they should have saved him for Survivor Series. You should have saved them. Like you could have had Roman and Jimmy or whatever on one team, and then you could have Cody Rhodes introduce my secret partner, and here comes Jay. That would be so much better buildup if you did like this Raw vs. SmackDown Civil War. You have Jimmy versus Jay, and you introduce Jay back then, but then you introduce him on a pay-per-view that people don't even care. Like, this is one of the weakest pay-per-view. I actually think this pay-per-view match-wise was better than SummerSlam.
Oh, it was. It was.
But I think that the problem is there was no lead up to this pay-per-view. No one really cared. Nobody cared about this pay-per-view. So why would you introduce Jay in a pay-per-view that no one cared about? You could have saved that for Raw leading into Survivor Series. I believe Survivor's okay. We got Fastlane next, and then Survivor Series coming in after that. And they could have saved that announcement. Let them sit out for another month or two. Like what's the big deal? Let them sit out for a month or two.
So one, I forgot Payback was even today. Okay. I was watching highlights on SmackDown.
Yesterday, you mean?
Yeah, yesterday. I was watching highlights on SmackDown. They mentioned Payback. I'm like, Payback ain't for another like 2-3 weeks. No, sure enough, it was yesterday. I completely forgot all about it. Like, and when Jay came back, I instantly wrote you on Messenger saying, what was the point of him leaving in to begin with? Just to have him sit out for 2 to 3 weeks. Even Grayson Waller was making fun of him. He's like, "Oh, calm down, calm down. He's been gone for 2 weeks."
Yeah. It was hilarious. It's bad when you have a wrestler. I don't like Waller at all. I think he's a moron. But I thought it was funny when he even mentioned it. He was like, "He's only been gone 2 weeks." Like, calm down. Like that. It was hilarious. The WWE fandom kills me. It kills me because, to me, I feel like I'm trying to say it in a nice way. I think there's positives. WWE has positives. I'm not hating on WWE, but the problem is they're so predictable, and they don't really work on these stories very well. Like, the fans are losing their mind over a guy that just been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine the pop on Raw or something? Like let's say there's like a contract signing, right? Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series and whatnot. You got Solo, and you have Jimmy, and you have all this shit on the SmackDown side, and then Cody Rhodes like, let me introduce you to my mystery partner, and then it goes, ooh, so, and then like that would be a massive pop. Instead, you introduce him 2 weeks after he comes out and goes, I quit WWE, I quit. You quit all this stuff, and then you're 2 weeks later, you're back.
And it's like, what gets me is like, after that happened, like I started seeing rumors circulating. Oh, he's gonna show up at I forgot the name. All In, I think it was.
All In. Yeah.
Like, first of all, the dude did not quit WWE. It's just part of a storyline, and people's actually taking it serious. Like, we wish Jay would never left and stuff. Come on, people. You cannot sit there and say that this is real. You cannot think that this is real. And even if he did really quit, even if he really did, he can't join another company until 90 days after.
Yeah.
So it's like, it blows my mind that people actually thought that was real.
Yeah, it's different when it comes to the Edge situation, because Edge does not have a new contract with WWE. That SmackDown contract, or that SmackDown match with Sheamus, was his actual official match, unless he signs another contract, and then he can go over to WWE. But anyone who actually thought that Jay actually left, you got mental problems. It's all part of a storyline, because Dave Meltzer and all these other wrestling analysts would have covered that a long time ago.
It's like, those are the WWE fans that pisses me off. Like, I'm a WWE fan way more than AEW, but I hate these fans who sit there and thinks that this is actually real. Like, because it makes me look bad as a WWE fan. Like, there's no way they're gonna build this guy up all the way to this point to make him main event Jey Uso, and WWE just gonna let him go. Like, you know how dumb that would be for Triple H and WWE.
The thing I hate most about WWE, about the fans anyway, WWE, is everything is awesome and nothing is really awesome. Like every time I tell Tiffany, I'm like, somebody put someone in a headlock and they crowd starts chanting, "This is awesome," and they have no idea what awesome is. Last night, 3 times during the Trish match, they chanted, "This is awesome," and I looked over at Tiff and she starts laughing. She's like, "Stop it!" And I'm like, "Babe, what was awesome about this match?" First of all, the only match that should have been chanted "This is awesome"
Kevin Owens match.
was the Kevin Owens match, and they didn't say shit through that match. Didn't say shit through that match. Yeah, and I hated the fact that Kevin Owens got busted open and they cleaned they taped him up and stuff so the blood wouldn't show. It's like, come on, bro. Like he didn't cut himself. He really got hurt. Let the blood flow. Like don't be PG about it, man. You know, like don't come out like John Moxley. Oh, my bad. Don't come out like John Moxley and cut yourself. But if you're really bleeding, if you got hit and you're really bleeding, then let the blood go. Don't sit there and wipe it off and then put new skin on it and pretend like it didn't happen because he got cut. You know, it's just I don't know, man. So the Trish match, Trish lost, Becky won. Not big surprise there, and we had outside interference, and then what's the name of the chick that's with Trish that turned on her?
Zoe Stark.
Yeah, Zoe Stark. Yeah. She turned on her, so she's probably gonna end up feuding with someone now, and whatever. Then we had the LA Knight versus the Miz match, special guest referee John Cena. I was really hoping this match would have been better. First of all, I think the Rey Mysterio match should have been next. That Rey Mysterio match bored the hell out of me. It was boring. I think that is by hands down the worst match on the card. Like that match should have opened. I know you want to open up with a big pop from the crowd. The steel cage match was good, but the Rey Mysterio match was the weakest match, and that should have been way down on the card. But they start off with LA Knight. I think LA Knight should have been way up toward the middle part of the card, especially since they're trying to push this guy. They have him beat the Miz. No surprise there. LA Knight gets into it a couple times with John Cena, and I don't know, man. What's your overall thoughts? I thought the match, it wasn't bad. It was just,
And that's how I feel. I thought it was okay, man. Like the best part about the match was John Cena's special referee. Let's be real. I thought the overall best thing about that match, honestly, was, and I even wrote was the Miz talking to John Cena before the match. That was the best part of the match.
Oh yeah.
And like, I for one, I'm not too highly on LA Knight because I used to watch him back in Impact when he was there.
Eli Drake.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of LA Knight like other people. So I didn't like the match. I thought it was.
I just think he's funny with his and nah. Because it feels like old school attitude era. But his wrestling skills. He's a good wrestler. But I don't know. They need to put something on him. United States title, Intercontinental title, something.
Well, the reason why they don't do that, and a lot of people doesn't know this, like he botches a lot during matches. Like if you watch him wrestle, he botches a lot.
Who
LA Knight? Yes. And that's probably why he doesn't have a title yet.
If I'm not mistaken, I think there was a botch last night because I can't remember what match. There was a botch in one of the matches. And
it was like the women's title. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that was pretty noticeable. Like that was a pretty big botch. And but see, I don't mind botches. It depends what kind of botch it is. Because here's the thing. If this was real life and people were fighting, right? You go back and you look at the UFC. They're swinging their arms and they're not connecting all the time. In wrestling terms, that would be botches because you're supposed to connect, right? So if it's a real fight, I don't mind if they botch it, if they follow up and make it look like part of the story of the match. But that one botch last night was So the Rey Mysterio match, Rey beats Austin Theory. Again, at this point, I was 3-0 for matches. I knew exactly what was going to happen. There's no way. Here's the thing. There's no way they're going to let Rey win just to give it back to Austin Theory at the pay-per-view when Dominic is still the NXT North American champion, because they want to have that opposite side. Like my son is the North American champion, I'm the United States champion, and whether or not they want to put that into a feud going into Survivor Series or Fastlane, they want to have that. So good morning, Marvin. How you doing over in Ireland? He said, good morning, Matt and Rob. How are you? We are doing pretty good. Breaking down this pay-per-view last night. So what's your thoughts on the Ray match, if you have any?
I was on my phone. I ain't gonna lie. That's how much I thought of that match. Like, I don't like that Rey Mysterio took the belt from Austin Theory, which I think I know what they're doing with this. But if this is the case, then I understand. I think they're gonna lead it up until WrestleMania, and I think they're gonna have Dom dethrone him, and that's what's gonna pass the torch to Dom.
If that's the case, if that is the case, then they should have had him. They should have had him win that title closer to WrestleMania.
Yeah, but you see WWE, they've been keeping titles on a long time to people.
Yeah, but man, Rey Mysterio don't need. First of all, Rey Mysterio don't need a title, and he sure as hell doesn't need a title all the way up to WrestleMania. Because right now you got a veteran guy like Rey Mysterio. Say what you want, Rey Mysterio should not be wrestling. He should be retired. Like he looks like a little potato out there. He's so round and stuff. He should not. What's up, Ninja Red? He should not be wrestling. And if he's wrestling, he should be putting over the younger wrestlers, not winning titles. If that's a storyline they want to do with Dom and get Dom the United States title at WrestleMania, then you should have gave Rey Mysterio United States title at Royal Rumble. And then that way he only has it for 2 pay-per-views or 2 months, and then he loses it or whatnot.
I agree, but that's today's WWE, man. They like to keep the belts on him for like 6 months or more. It's like,
see, I don't mind having long title reigns. I like Gunter, right? Like I like the fact. I think to be honest with you, he's the only reason why I watch Raw is Gunter, because I think that they're making Judgment Day a joke. Like every damn week, Finn Balor is getting hit over the head with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah,
you got the giant bobblehead JD over there. It's just, it's ridiculous. Thanks so much, Ninja, for that $1 super chat. Appreciate you, bro, dude.
Well, I also told you this before too. Like, the Judgment Day reminds me of the Saints Row, like the game. Saints Row.
Yeah.
Like they have the same colors. They can be serious. They like to joke around and stuff. Stupid stuff happens to them. I get Saints Row vibes from them every time I see them. So I like what they're doing with them. I just don't like how they make them lose all the time.
Judgment Day could be good if they do it right. Now they all have belts. So let's see what they do with it now. But you have to stop making them jokes. Finn Balor should have beat Seth Rollins for the title.
100%. I agree.
Should have beat the title. That way because what they're doing with MJF and Adam Cole, how they're both friends, but Adam Cole wants that damn title. They should have done that with Judgment Day, whereas Finn Balor is the champion. There's no reason to give the title to Seth Rollins, right? Let him go, take his vacation, get his surgery, give Finn Balor the title, and then you have that whole thing where, bro, you better not cash that Money in the Bank on me. And then you have that kind of, they're friends, but they're kind of like looking behind each other's back. That's the storyline they should have done. And then you go into, like, you can feud Finn Balor with other people. You could even get to the part where he can defend the title against like Gunter or something, move up. I still think maybe Cody Rhodes should be in that conversation, but Cody Rhodes wants the actual title. But there's no reason why Seth Rollins should have that title at all. There's no reason. I wanted Nakamura to, we'll get to that, but I wanted Nakamura to win that title. One,
I did too.
This is a former New Japan wrestler. This dude had big titles. It would have been so different to have someone like Nakamura. It would have been so different rather than having, the same I don't like
Seth Rollins annoys the shit out of me, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, like I used to be a big fan of Seth Rollins. This whole new gimmick now, the revolutionary, whatever. Like, dude, you're not a revolutionary. You didn't revolutionize shit.
The architect, Seth Rollins, I like.
Yeah, like he this one, no. I mean, he puts on good matches. Like him versus AJ Styles was a good match. Him versus Finn Balor was like arguably every pay-per-view, his matches are usually the best matches. But at the same time, you don't need to have the title on him. Like you can put the title on other people. The whole point of Triple H giving this World Heavyweight Championship was that we wouldn't have long range champions, right? Because God knows when Roman Reigns is going to lose that damn title. He's like, this title will be defended, blah, blah, blah. So I'm assuming, okay, you're going to give people who don't have the opportunity with the other belt the opportunity. And what do? Seth Rollins has been the only person that had that belt since they announced it. You know?
And Mr. C, we know that's the only reason why he has a title, because they had to build that title up, because everyone knows that's a secondhand title. And we know that they had to give it to him to build that title up to make it legit. But Seth Rollins is actually hurt in real life. He had the title, but he's really hurt. And so what better way to drop it? I feel like it should have been, like you said, Finn Balor. But WWE just doesn't pull the plug. I don't understand why WWE just doesn't do it. Like they don't like to. They're scared, as I should say. They're scared. Like they're scared to give the title to other people. Like I don't know. I just don't understand, man. And it kind of pisses me off. Just like how we'll get to it later on. I'm not going to talk about the main event right now.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I gotta take care of a troll here, but here's the thing. They want to say, well, they gave it to him to make the title legitimate, right? Because they don't want it to make it a secondary title. First of all, it's automatically a secondary title, regardless. Yeah. It is. But here's how you make it legit. I have no problem with Seth Rollins being the champion. When he wrestled AJ for the title, I was like, okay, he's gonna win because they want to make the title legit. Okay, they want to make it like feel like the same as Roman Reigns' title. But here's how you not make it legit. When you have someone like Cody Rhodes not even trying to get it, that makes it feel like, oh, this title is not important. When you have main superstars, your main event superstars like Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, and they don't give a shit about that title, then it makes the Intercontinental title seem more valuable than the World Heavyweight title.
Because at the end it is, let's be real.
like that's the thing. If you want to make it legit, have main eventers try to get it. But when you have main eventers like Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar don't give a shit about the title, then it makes it sound like that title isn't a legit title. Because Cody Rhodes is like, yeah, I want Roman Reigns' title. Okay, but then feud for it. Make it look like you at least want that title and then build up to that. But by him not even caring about the title makes it seem like a secondary title. Just because that title stays on Seth Rollins for like 8 months doesn't make it a legit title. What makes it a legit title is the matches you have for that title and the quality of wrestlers that want to have that title. And right now, I'm not seeing it. Just like right now, I'm not seeing a lot of likes in the stream. I need to get 10 likes. What's going on with people? Come on.
It's like with the world title, it's like everything you said is 100%. But it's like the perfect opportunity, my opinion, was the Finn Balor opportunity. Like that was 7 years in the making when Finn Balor won the Universal title, but he had to relinquish it because Seth Rollins really hurt him. And it's like you built that up so good.
Yeah, it was like
Finn Balor and have him wrestle like people like LA Knight and stuff.
Yeah.
WWE just pisses me off.
They had the perfect storyline of like Finn Balor's been waiting years for his revenge, and he's finally getting his match. He had to relinquish the title and all this stuff. It was a great storyline. And then they made Finn Balor look like Homer Simpson. Like he was doing all the stupid shit. Like I don't know how many times this dude got hit with that damn briefcase.
That's what I'm saying. Like you build it so much, man. And they finally had Finn like the more serious threat again, like he was back in the day when he was a demon form. Like you finally had that back with him where people actually was taking him serious. And then look how then you ruin it with the dumb fucking endings that they always do. Oh, he throws a briefcase to him, but goes underneath his legs and he grabs it and hits him. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro.
Yeah. And then we get to the tag match, which I think is the best match on the card. It was a Judgment Day won this one, beating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I thought this was the best match on the card by far. But again, we had to get that interference somehow. We had to get everybody and their mom to interfere. I was wrong about this one. I predicted that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was going to win. I wasn't aware that Kevin Owens was hurt again, and that's why they lost the title, because he's not going to be around. But that's also why they had the street fight too, because you can get away with doing less stuff in a street fight rather than a regular wrestling match. You can see if someone's really hurt in a regular wrestling match. So thank you for making that comment. Preach, Rob, preach. What comment? What comment? I don't remember what comment. But yeah, so this match I thought was the better of the matches, but I really thought, again, I thought that JD was going to come out, interfere, and cost Judgment Day the match. And then at the end of the night, Damian Priest was going to cash in the Money in the Bank, which would give all of Judgment Day a title except for Finn Balor, which was going to cause the rift, and they were going to keep that feud and storyline going even more. They didn't do that. They had them win the tag titles. And for the love of God, they need to get new tag titles. I don't understand why everybody in this company is running around with 500 different titles around their waist, right? Like Triple H gives Roman Reigns the new Universal title, right? Like, this is the undisputed title. Why is he still carrying the other 3 titles if this is, like, if he loses the belt, whoever beats him only gets that one belt. They don't get all the other belts. Why are you carrying? This isn't boxing. In boxing, all these different belts are for different weight classes and division. Every belt he has that Paul Heyman has on his shoulders equals the same belt that Triple H just gave him. Why is he running around with like 30 pounds of different belts around him? But anyway, they need to get rid of the tag team belts, because the red and blue nickel belts that look like quarters or whatever, like, that shit looks stupid, man. Give them gold belts and make them look good, and then give that to Judgment Day. And WWE needs help on their belts. Their belts look awful. Like, the Intercontinental title looks awful. Like, the tag team titles look awful. Like, they need new belt designs. Bad.
Yeah. And about that match, I agree, it was the best match of the night. I can't, like, this is the one match I can honestly see why they had interference in it. Because one, you have Sammy and Kevin beat the all-powerful Usos when they were in the bloodline for these titles. And Kevin Owens is injured in real life, like we said. They didn't want to make Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn look weak. Okay, so they wanted to, like, oh yeah, it took all these people to beat you guys, so that's how they lost the titles. But I'm tired of all the interferences, man. It's like every match, like, you know, when you had
6 matches had interference.
Yeah, when you had Zoe start interference, so there was no point, because you didn't have to make Trish Stratus look all powerful. Her old ass was passing the torch. She didn't have to look all powerful like Sami Zayn and all them had to. Like, so like, oh man, it's like, I even wrote you during that as well. It's like, oh, here we go, Dominic's out here, and then eventually Rhea's going to come out, which she did, and JD's big ass head got hit across the table, didn't even break. So I'm surprised his spine ain't broken. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, it's the same shit. Like, we already knew what was going to happen for the match. I didn't think Judgment Day was going to win, but I knew there was going to be interference. Same thing with the Bloodline. Same thing with every single match is interference. Like, back in the Attitude Era, you had your heel, okay? Yeah, everyone keeps saying, oh, that's what heels does. They like to interfere. They do that. Back in the day, we had heels as well, but there wasn't interference in every single match. No, like, they let the heels fight.
Interference is fine on Raw and SmackDown. Pay-per-views, there should not be any interference.
No.
Because pay-per-views is when you tie up the storylines to move on to the next storyline. So that's when you get your one-on. What's the point of having a cage match if there's going to be interference? You know, like, what's the point of it? The whole, like, what's the, it just doesn't make any sense.
Like, the only way it does make sense, like, don't have it all the time, okay, like the Attitude Era did. Like, don't have it all the time, but like, if you're going to continue the storyline of the same two people, then have the interference. Sort of like how back in the day when The Rock fought Stone Cold and they threw that twist in there where Vince McMahon screwed The Rock and helped Stone Cold, but the storyline kept continuing. But if it's to finish the storyline, don't have interference. Let those two finish the storyline.
Yeah, it's just, to me, I feel like pay-per-views, that's when you have the one-on-one matches. If you want to have interference in a match, Fine. Pick the match you want to have interference. 4 out of the 6 matches had interference. That's unacceptable. That's ridiculous. They made Rhea look weak with Dom coming out there. Like you're telling me Rhea needed little ass Dom to come out there, right? Why did he even interfere in any way? Like both those girls could kick his little ass.
Yeah.
Like what is he gonna do?
Like look at the last WrestleMania when Cody Rhodes fought Roman Reigns. That was a huge match because of Cody Rhodes. Is he going to finish the story or not? Is he actually going to dethrone Roman Reigns? Like, even at WrestleMania, dude, they can't even leave out the damn interference. Like, there was no reason for Solo, Usos. Under Usos, I can understand because Kevin Owens and them came out and helped them. Okay. But there was no reason for Solo to come out and finish that match for them. That match was going great before him.
The thing is, by them constantly having interference in the Roman Reigns matches, they make Roman Reigns even look weaker. Now, the whole thing is, he's a heel, so it gets people pissed off when someone comes in and helps him. That's fine. Every damn pay-per-view?
Yeah, heel.
Every damn paper. You know what? The Rock was the heel, and he didn't need interference from the nation or corporation for every damn match.
Yep, same thing with Triple H.
It's like, come on. Roman Reigns can be a heel and do heel things without having people interfere for him. Like let him do like a heel move and use a weapon or something like that, or trick the referee, do an eye poke, do a low blow, do something. But every like interference every damn time by the Bloodline, it gets really, really old quickly. It gets really, really old quickly. So we agree that the tag match was the best match. That was the only one I got wrong. The women's title match, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel. I actually don't think Raquel is a very good wrestler personally, but I think the reason why she's in this spot is because physically she matches up to Rhea. I think there's other women wrestlers that are much better women wrestlers than Raquel, but she's big like Rhea, so it looks more believable. But again, they undercut it by having Dominic come out, and even if Dominic didn't do shit because he really didn't do anything while he was out there, why even bother? Like Rhea could have easily took over. You have Rhea as this. Dude, they need to do Rhea Ripley versus Awesome Kong. I don't know if Awesome Kong still wrestles, but they need Awesome Kong to go out there, and that would be a match. And that's another thing, right? Like they used to have Awesome Kong versus Gail Kim. Gail Kim was much smaller than Awesome Kong, but they had great matches. She beat Awesome Kong, plenty of times for the titles. You don't need to have a women's wrestler like Raquel battle against Rhea and make it believable. There could be smaller wrestlers, if they are good wrestlers, that can make it look more believable. Dang, I can't remember her name, but one of the little Asian wrestlers, like I believe she could take out Rhea because she's a better technical wrestler than Rhea.
Yeah,
but
like you said, Raquel, you don't think she's all that good in the ring. She was good in NXT. Like I used to watch her in NXT, and she was what Rhea is now, but in NXT. But when she got called up to the main roster, is like they dubbed her down a lot, and they made her like a weak ass when she wasn't like that in NXT.
See, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think all the best female wrestlers are on SmackDown. I don't think Raw has, because you go over to SmackDown, you have Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, you have the one chick who just won the Money in the Bank title. She cashed in. You have man, I'm blanking out on one, but you have Bailey. You have Bailey over there, right? Unless you're going to do Rhea versus Becky Lynch, that's really the only type of match that you can get over there. Maybe Zoe Stark, maybe her, because she's actually a really good wrestler and she has the big physique. She could probably take on Rhea and make it believable. But right now, it's like Rhea might as well just fight in the men's division because there's no women over there that can even touch her because they don't have any good female wrestlers on Raw. They're all on SmackDown.
Rhea is the female Roman Reigns. And that's what it's going to lead up to. She's going to hold the belt forever. And I don't know if they're going to have her be an all-time longest women's title, but she is the Roman Reigns of the females, where she needs help all the time when she really doesn't, but she needs help all the time because she's a heel, today's heel, and there's really no one that can compete with them. I would like to see Zoe Stark beat her, but it's WWE. It's not going to happen.
I don't know if I want to see Zoe Stark beat her, but I think Zoe Stark could put on a good match with her.
I like Zoe Stark. Like, she's one of my favorite women wrestlers there. Because, like I said, I watched her in NXT, so I know how she wrestles. It's
the thing is, right? So I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound kind of weird. Just let me finish. WWE has a better women's division than AEW, but AEW has better women's wrestlers, if that makes sense. Like WWE runs the women division better. They have like 2 or 3 matches a night. They have better storylines. There was 2 women's matches on the pay-per-view. AEW, they don't care about the women. They're like, yeah, just go out and have a 5-minute match, and that's all for the night. And then the pay-per-view, they have 1 match, right? So Tony Khan doesn't book the women's division the way he should, but I feel like the women, I feel like there's plenty of candidates over an AEW female division that I could see in WWE taking on Rhea Ripley. I just wish Tony Khan would do a better job booking the women's division, but I can see Statlander and all these other female wrestlers. I mean, any of them from the Outcasts, whether it be Toni Storm, Saraya, any of them could take on Rhea Ripley. But they need to take some of those SmackDown divas and bring them over to Raw, because right now there's like no competition on Raw for Rhea Ripley other than Becky Lynch.
Well, the problem with WWE is they had this stupid draft.
I hate
the draft. Doesn't mean shit because the Raw still goes to SmackDown. SmackDown still goes to Raw. Like, what is the whole point of the draft at this point?
Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. LA Knight's on both shows. like it just doesn't matter. Like, they just keep bouncing back. Jay just went. I still don't get the Jay thing. Oh my god, it just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let's get into the last match, which I was right about, but then I said that they were going to cash in the Money Bank, so they did not do that. And Nakamura loses. The match was actually good. I think it went on a little long personally, but I thought the match was good. Seth Rollins wins for some reason. Like, we all know the dude has back problems and he needs to give up that title at some point. But I still think they should have gave it to Nakamura, mostly because Nakamura has been a veteran. He's never won the WWE title. And it would just be something new and different. It'd be something new and different. You could have ran into a feud with Nakamura and Damian Priest. Like, there's so many main eventers over on Raw that they could give that title to, and you just keep it on Seth Rollins for whatever. Let Seth Rollins go get his back surgery, sit him out into a Royal Rumble, and then bring him back come Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber or something like that.
With that match, I loved how, I forgot who it was. I think it was Michael Cole. Was sitting there saying, "Oh, we never seen this side of Nakamura on WWE. He's starting to bring out his New Japan." Nakamura just had the man lose to one curb stomp, I should say.
Yeah, one curb stomp. Yeah.
Not only was it one curb stomp, Seth Rollins waited 10 seconds, then pinned him and still won.
Yeah, the ending was awful. The ending was awful. Like, even if you want Nakamura to lose, then let that man lose. Like make him kick out of the curb stomp. Like, do 3 curb stomps to his ass. Like, if you seen this guy wrestle in New Japan, this dude is legit. Like, Nakamura should be a champion. This dude is legit. And then he comes out there and, oh yeah, curb stomp over. Like, what? Like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know if you noticed or not, but the referees, when they were kicking out and stuff, they were off, like, bad. Like,
that one referee
stopped, and then
that one referee stopped. The one referee stopped. I remember looking at Tiffany. I'm like, that was weird, It was like 1, 2, and it was like Nakamura was late to put his shoulder up, and the referee just stopped. He didn't even go down, and then Nakamura put his shoulder up, and I was like, that was weird. That was absolutely weird.
Yeah, the match was good overall. And what you didn't see, I looked it up on YouTube. Apparently Nakamura did attack him after the match. but it wasn't showing on camera.
Oh, dude, that's what I thought was gonna happen because they're like, Michael Cole was doing the closing, and then they just kind of showed Nakamura, and I'm like, oh, dude, he's gonna go in there with a chair, smash it on his back, and then Damian Priest is gonna cash in. That's what should have happened. That's what should have happened. It would have made the match that much better because they were telling the story with it, and then they could have done something different, and they didn't. So
and they could have built up to Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. But
yeah.
That's too much common sense. So,
well, that's Payback. That's the Payback review. I guess we can get into a little bit of predictions with AEW tonight. I don't really know what a lot of there's only one match on AEW I know for sure was going to happen, and that's the Ring of Honor Tag Champions. There's no way they're going to have MJF and Adam Cole lose to the Dark Order. That's not going to happen. So let me pull up the list for that. There was a match announced last night. Bryan Danielson came back, so that was awesome. I actually watched that because they fired CM Punk. It was going to be CM Punk versus Ricky Stark, and they fired CM Punk yesterday. So they had Ricky Stark say because Ricky Stark he whipped the Dragon Steamboat, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So he challenged Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for a match, and he signed a contract. It said Ricky Stark versus the Dragon. And he's like, here, sign it. So he signed it. He's like, oh, by the way, I'm not the only dragon. And then here comes Bryan Danielson because he's considered the American Dragon. So that's going to be a match. All right, I'm looking at the matches here. So give me a second here. All out matches. I had this thing saved and I don't know where it is. AEW All Out. There's like 9 matches, I think, overall.
The CM Punk situation is so dumb, and it being in Chicago had me halfway, thinking it was a work before Daniel Bryan was announced for Stark.
Okay, I got the matches pulled up here. So we have MJF and Adam Cole versus the Dark Order. I'm gonna say MJF wins that one. Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor TV title versus Shane Taylor. I'm gonna say Samoa Joe wins that one. Luchasaurus defends the TNT title versus Darby Allin. I kind of want Darby Allin to win, but I like Christian with that title, even though it's not his title. I just think it's funny. He's going around and pretend like it's his title. So I'm gonna say Luchasaurus wins because I think that's hilarious. Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley for the international title. I'm going Orange Cassidy. FTR Young Bucks versus Bullet Club Gold. See, a lot of these matches I don't know. I'm gonna say Bullet Club Gold. Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. I'm hoping Chris Statlander wins. Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I'm going Miro. And then you have Eddie Kingston and I forgot that guy's name versus Claudio and Yuta Wheeler. And then you have Kenny Omega versus Takeshita. I think that's gonna be match of the night. The Takeshita versus Kenny Omega match.
Kenny Omega usually is the best match of the night, to be honest.
That I've been waiting for their one-on-one matches, cause they've been feuding for like a few months now, but they've never been in a one-on-one match. So I think that's gonna be the match of the night. And then they added the Daniel Bryan versus Ricky Stark. So there's 10 matches. So what are you thinking on these matches? Here, I'll pull it up here so you can take a look at it.
Start over for me. All right. Are these matches in order?
No, I don't think they're in order. And where it says All Out, that's where the Daniel Bryan match is going to be.
Okay, so the MJF match. I got them losing. I think they're going to win. Win. Listen, I'm throwing a curveball out there for story wise. Okay, I think they're going to win, but I think they're losing. And the only reason why I'm saying that is I think
to the Dark Order.
I think what's his name's going to screw them, and I just think someone's going to screw them. I think, and that's what's going to make them lose the belts. Okay, this is a Mojo match. I got some Mojo winning. Luchasaurus. That's tough. I don't know, honestly. I'm gonna go with Luchasaurus with the help of Jungle Boy.
Really? Think so? I don't think Jungle Boy's gonna be there. You can't fire CM.
Oh yeah, he got suspended, didn't he? That's right,
and then have Jungle Boy show up on pay-per-view, especially in Chicago. They would kill that kid.
Okay, I got Darby Allin winning. Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. I hate Orange Cassidy with a passion. I hope Orange Cassidy ruins his career. That's how I hate this guy. Orange Cassidy's winning, but I want Jon Moxley to beat the shit out of this guy. I don't want to see him walking with his freshly squeezed ass out of this arena.
I don't know why you people hate him. Dude, in All In, he did the legit best move ever. He took fucking tape and put glass on his fucking hand and did the orange punch. Like, that was the most legit move ever.
I hate him so much. So I don't even want him walking out of that arena.
Hater.
It's hard to tell, but the Bullet Club, I think, is the one.
Bullet Club Gold versus FTR and the Young Bucks.
Something's going to happen with the Young Bucks and FTR, so I'm going to go with the Bullet Club.
But see, here's the thing, though. With AEW, they don't do a lot of that stuff. Like interference or someone screws someone. Like look at the MJF match. We thought for sure and All Out one of them was going to turn on each other, and that was a legit match all the way through. Because say what you want about Tony Khan, he lets the matches like play out like that. So I don't know how much. Like, are you thinking the Young Bucks is going to turn on FTR?
No. I'm not saying something's going to. No. All right, let me rephrase that. Okay, I changed my prediction actually because you made a good point. FTR and M's going to win, but what I think is going to happen is I think they're going to try to overshow each other's. Like one's going to do a finisher, the other one's going to do another finisher. You know, like that.
I think that's going to be the second. If that's not the second best match of the night, that might be the first best match of the night. It's either between that and Kenny Omega. Which one's going to be the best match of the night?
I'm one of those people. I think the Young Bucks are over it as fuck. That's just my opinion. But,
yeah, but I don't know if you saw it back in July when FTR defended their titles against Bull Club Gold. They wrestled for like a 60-minute match with 2 out of 3 falls, and it was like the best match. Like it's up there for like match of the year. So like having them go at it again, I don't know. I like the Young Bucks. So
okay, so. I can't see her name, but
Katie Statlander and Ruby Soho.
Okay, yeah.
Chris Statlander, sorry. I said Katie.
I'm gonna go with Chris. Unless they're gonna do sort of like Judgment Day and WWE where they just have all those women have belts.
There was a rumor that because if Ruby Soho wins, then Toni Storm is the only one in the group that doesn't have a belt, and they have been feuding. Like at All Out, Toni Storm punched Ruby Soho in the face. So
it makes sense if Ruby wins.
It makes sense story-wise if Ruby wins. It's just I think Chris Statlander is a better wrestler and better champion.
I think Chris Statlander is going to win, but for story-wise, Ruby has to win. I don't care about the Miro match. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But I got Miro winning. The match after that, I personally don't care either. I don't like either one of them.
Eddie Kingston's so good, though.
Yeah, I remember Eddie Kingston back when he was an Impact, but I'm not a huge fan of his. I personally don't care about that one, but I got Eddie Kingston winning his team. Now the match I'm looking forward to usually is the best match of the night when it comes to Kenny Omega. Is Kenny Omega going to lose? That I don't know.
I think he is. I think he's going to put over Takeshita.
I don't care who wins because I know the match is going to be amazing. I just want a great match, but we all know it's going to happen. But I'm just going to pick for the hell of it, Kenny Omega. But I already know the match is going to be amazing. So
there's going to be a lot of V triggers in that damn match. And then the Ricky Stark versus Daniel Bryan.
I hate both those guys. I don't care, dude.
I
I'm
think
not
it's
gonna
gonna
lie, I
be
don't care.
I think it's gonna be Daniel Bryan winning it.
I hated Daniel Bryan in WWE, and I hate him now. So,
But
and Ricky
I don't
Starks, the Rock looking ass, I hate him too.
I don't know how much Daniel Bryan's gonna be because I think he came back early because, like I said, it was supposed to be CM Punk versus Ricky Stark, but I think since CM Punk got fired, that he's like Tony Khan's like, hey Daniel, can you like come back and do this match? So I don't know how limited he's gonna be. I mean, he only had a hairline fracture; it wasn't like a full on break, but still, you know, it's just I don't know.
If I had to pick, I wouldn't pick Ricky Starks. I think they should build him because at the end of the day, like if you look at it, he could be the next Rock, dude.
Yeah, but he's got to stop doing all this stupid shit, man.
Like
The
he's
dude,
really good on the mic.
he's good on the mic. He's a good wrestler, but he does all this stupid stuff. Like,
That's his
stop
gimmick,
that.
bro.
Yeah, but come on, bro. Like you could be like a legit badass, and you're going around like all the time, bro. Just stop that. Just stop that and just wrestle, bro. Because he gives good promos. He's a good wrestler. Like if he wrestled CM Punk, I actually wanted him to beat CM Punk for the title because you know, and that's another thing. Now we're not gonna get that fucking the real title, dude. I like the fact that there was two titles, one on Collision, one on Dynamite. Now there's only back to one title. So that sucks because I felt like, you know, you give a younger talent like Ricky Stark the title, see what he can do with it. But, you know, I don't know.
The only thing I hate about this pay-per-view, they don't have my girl Britt Baker there, man. She ain't wrestling.
Yeah, she might be there with the Adam Cole match. I doubt it though. Well, the Sky Blue is not there either, so that's what I'm saying. AEW needs more than just one women's match in the damn pay-per-views.
That's how you know Payback was garbage. Like I was watching Collision during that shit, bro. Yeah, and I don't watch Collision.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got, man. That's all we got. So I guess we'll just see what happens at the pay-per-view tonight. I gotta actually order it still, and hopefully it's a good pay-per-view.
Do one of these tomorrow? Because I'm down for it tomorrow.
I don't know. I gotta see what happens tomorrow. What I'm doing tomorrow. Like this wasn't planned. I had to rush to put all this together. So I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow. So I'm not gonna make no promises. Just let's see how this video does with views, and we'll see how the pay-per-view.
And don't text me during the pay-per-view because I'm not gonna be able to watch it right off the bat. I gotta watch it a little later.
I started spoiling it for Lee last night. I sent Lee my predictions, and I was like, "Oh, 2-0, oh, 3-0."
I bet you he was pissed.
Lee's like, "Bro, I'm at work. Stop spoiling shit." I'm like, "Oh."
That's why when I posted Payback was a joke, I made it where he couldn't see it because I knew he was probably at work.
Oh, yeah. So I accidentally kind of spoiled some stuff for him, but yeah, oops, sorry. Yeah, so all right. So I won't do that. I won't do that to you. All right, guys, that's all we got. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you, and catch you next time. Later, guys. Peace out.